Welcome to Olives of Honest. In this channel, we help you heal from all forms of emotional wound. We hope you're inspired by this video to do better. Kindly like, comment, and subscribe. Let's grow together. Hello, welcome back to Olives of Honest. In this channel, we are on a simple journey to help people heal emotionally through faith-led conversations, intentional growth, honesty. If this is your first time, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your loved ones. If it's not, you are welcome. So in this month of May, our focus is on handling fear, the fear that comes after a traumatic experience that may sometimes limit us. Let's get something straight. Satan, the devil, he has three agendas: to kill, steal, and destroy. When we encounter any traumatic experience, of course, it leaves you with an emotion. Fear is there, doubt is there, low self-esteem is there, people pleasing can come from there, but it's all rooted under fear. And one thing that fear does is, when something happens, we come to that place of, am I really a good person? The truth is, life would happen. We can't expect when it will happen, but life will always happen. And after any form of negative experience, we are left with certain traumatic emotions, and one of it is fear. Fear will limit you from taking the next big step. Fear will make you walk in doubt. Fear will make you doubt yourself. Fear will make you procrastinate. Fear will make you live a very cautious life, not a life of precaution. Fear will make you create boundaries that are not necessary, not needed, not appropriate for the season of your life. And today we'll talk about 4 mindsets that we need to start reevaluating to know, am I really this person, or am I truly walking in fear? One key part that happens, or one major thing that happens after any experience, I'll give you a context so we don't look at this vaguely, and I'll share a story. As a teenager, I got assaulted sexually, and growing older or becoming an adult, I did not know the depth of what that did to me, until I started realizing that there are some level of brokenness in certain aspects of your life. Now that the assault happened was not even the major problem. It was a problem, I'm not downplaying it, but the factors around how it was handled then became even a bigger problem that made me live as a fearful person for so many years. Now, when it happened, of course, parents got to know, but because of the level of maturity of the people in my environment as at then, nobody considered my feelings, nobody considered this thing that has happened to me. And the person was confronted, and he made a very striking statement. He said, even if he wants to have anything intimate with anybody, will it be such a dirty thing like myself? And that statement, I did not know how deep that statement punctured me, but it did one thing: it affected my self-esteem, my self-value, my self-perception. That's one of the effects. And that crack, or that puncturing in myself, made me live in so much fear for so many years that I would put myself in compromising situations. If I'm confronted with something, I'll be like, am I sure I'm worthy enough to have this? Am I sure I'm qualified enough to have this? Because somebody made a careless statement that my brain interpreted to become the new identity of me. That's what trauma will do. It will change your identity of who you are and make you start seeing yourself from the lens of, am I really good enough? Am I kind? Am I worthy? Am I qualified to have this? From the place of identity, we'll start working in self-doubt, because when your identity is distorted, self-doubt cross in. You begin to question things without just being daring. So some of us may see it as, I'm being a very careful person, but of a true, you are doubting, or you are reassuring yourself to say, am I really worthy of this? Can I really do this? And self-doubt then can lead us to extreme procrastination. All these are rooted in fear. extreme deep procrastination where you may think, oh, let me be very sure. You miss opportunities, you miss beautiful moments, you miss trustworthy people. You would want to be so sure. God can give an idea and you can dilly-dally around the idea because the person is already thinking, I'm scared, and I'm not sure. Will it be received? Will it be accepted? Will I? And you can go on and on and on. While you are procrastinating, tomorrow, someone else is already taking up that idea. So we've talked about how it cracks our identity. We've talked about how we can then start living in self-doubt, all because we are scared. We've talked about how we would genuinely procrastinate, all because we are scared. I may go back and forth around these all factors, so bear with me. But one that I will really settle in is lack of trust. You see, the minute you have an experience that is not so good, there is that place of, I can't trust this. I can't trust this scenario. I can't trust this situation. I don't trust myself around this. Maybe a business you did, it failed, and there's that place of, I don't think I can trust you to handle business. Or a betrayal that happened between a husband and wife, there is broken trust. I don't think this. So if it's a prolonged, permanent situation, why not? It will be addressed with time, but fear can cripple that conversation, that relationship. But if it's not between you and somebody else, if it's between you and yourself, what would then happen is you would carry that same I don't trust this into the next season. Let me connect it to the story I shared earlier. So the assault happened. I was 13, 14 if I'm not mistaken. Everybody moved on. I grew up. I went to uni. But I then realized the 13 years old me who would love to look girly died. I realized the 13 years old, 14 years old me who was conscious of makeup, because I watched a lot of foreign movies as a growing child. So I saw those things. Who would want those things? She died. The 13 years old me who was very bold, who was very expressive, she shrunk. Now, the way I dressed changed. I saw that I started wearing more of baggy clothing. I started wearing more of loose clothes. And it was when I started walking the journey of healing too that I realized that, oh, that's not the kind of person I am. I love to look good. But I started wearing those clothes because during the course of addressing the whole issue, someone made a statement. The person said, maybe it's because of the way you dressed. That's why this person has done this. So more like my dressing was what enticed him or what attracted him. I was young. I didn't know too much and my environment did not speak too much as well. I grew up in a proper semi-ghetto area and 20-something years old me would wear just a jean, t-shirt, simple sandals. I wasn't an heel person. I was not putting on, those things were not part. I was just casual. In fact, I dressed more tomboyish than girly-like because of that statement. And when I started thinking of, okay, you're now an adult, going into a relationship, I realized I really genuinely did not trust most of the men that were coming my way. And the minute you meet me, your first focus is you want to start talking about intimacy. You have lost me. Because I'm just thinking, there is more to me than you wanting to look at my body. There is more to me. That war, that severe battle was in my head. And it was when I started walking healing that I realized that, oh no, I am walking in severe lack of trust because I am scared that what that person did when I was a teenager may repeat itself. This person can violate my body because that experience has taught me not to trust. This I'm sharing right now it took more than 15 years for me to realize. Yeah, I was almost in my late 20s before I started reflecting, thinking deep and realizing it. So no matter how good you are, if you come around me then and your first focus is wanting to be intimate, you are gone. No matter how good you are so gone. But the more I healed, the more I then realized that, okay, someone can approach me with what their intention is. It's now my decision to either say yes or no. And if I say no, the person is still insisting, I still have the right to walk away. You see the place of lack of trust that would come because of fear after a traumatic experience. One mental shift that would help to address it no matter what has happened is knowing that what happened was with person A. This is a completely different person. Or business A failed. This is a complete different business. And every experience, even if it was traumatic, leaves us with a knowing of what not to do next. It leaves us with a clarity of, okay, now I have to work more maturely. Let's center on business. If, for example, you went into a business venture and you placed too much finance into it in the beginning, it crumbled. The fear of you don't know how to do business may want to come in, but what then do? You reevaluate to know, okay, what went wrong? What was my input? And being able to ask what was my input has already demystified that fear of I don't trust myself enough to do business. So you then go into the next question. How soon, how much should I put in to test the waters while I am going into this business? That's for business. Let's give an example with friendship. You were betrayed by a friend and now you don't have trust when you come around people. I know a lady was sharing with me, she went to visit a friend and the friend was telling her, when are you leaving? And she just got there like less than 10 minutes. When are you leaving? And she couldn't hold it back. She had to ask the person, sorry, who hurt you? Why are you conscious of the fact that I would abandon you or everybody would always walk away? So that person's experience, which I don't know the details, has already taught the person that people would always walk away. You can't trust people. So even when a new person is coming into their space, their mind is closed saying that, I know you will walk away. I'm just waiting for when. So when she asked the person, like, I'm not here to hurt you, to abandon you, to walk away. That mindset, you that is dealing with lack of trust, you have to know that this now experience is not coming from that person. If I want to still go back to this, my personal story that I shared earlier, I had to walk the journey of sexual wholeness, sexual purity, to be able to prepare myself that, okay, when I marry, I would be able to genuinely connect with my spouse. If not, I can still legally marry and not connect genuinely because a part of my brain is still lacking that trust. But I'm forgetting that this is my husband, not the person that assaulted me. As an addition, fear can make us become a yes person, more like a people's pleaser, where you are saying yes when you truly know that you don't want to say yes. So when you have that experience, you have been traumatized as a person. That self-doubt has crept in. The minute there is self-doubt, every experience you may interpret it from the lens of, what if I'm the problem here? What if I am the one who needs to change? What if it is me? What if, what if, what if? And that what if situation can make any individual, anybody, become a yes person. Can make you become that person to say, okay, for peace to reign, let me say yes. Someone can come to that place of, oh, I had a failed relationship with my ex-partner or ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, and maybe because I was this kind of person. Because your brain would think so many things. Okay, for peace to reign, let me just say yes. So you may not be comfortable with something, you would say yes. Timing will not be okay for you, you will say yes. One thing that being a yes person would it's not even a good thing. One terrible thing that being a yes person would do for you or do to you is you don't have boundaries, you don't have principles guiding your life, meaning you can go year in, year out, and you can't point out to say, this is what I did and I was productive in it. Why? You are saying yes to too many people and you will then get depleted. A mentee was sharing with me, I think 2 days ago, or was it yesterday even, how she is having issues with a family that has really helped her in the past. And one thing I could easily point out was currently she's beginning to discover who she is. She's beginning to put value into her life. She's beginning to genuinely love herself for herself. Meaning, if something is not comfortable, in the past she would have said, okay, I'll do it. Oh yes, I'll go. Oh, no problem, leave it to me. But now she's able to assess certain situations and just genuinely say, oh, I'll do it, but can I do it 3 days time? Or I'll do it, or can I do it in the evening? Oh no, sorry, I can't do this right now. It's not in my timing. Oh, I already have something planned. Can it be next time? It took years to get to that phase, but getting to that phase then means she's losing people who knew her as the yes person version of herself. So when you are demystifying the stronghold of fear that has captivated your heart from any traumatic experience, and you are beginning to say that, okay, I am saying yes all the time because I'm scared of losing people. I'm saying this all the time because of this, because of that. Be mentally ready that when you start realizing that some persons would walk away from your life, and it's okay, it's fine. It took years for me to be comfortable with that. It's fine in itself. So I'll end this video with an encouragement. Every experience you may have had as a person, trust me, whatever emotions you are feeling concerning that experience right now, it's 100% valid. But what I say to people when I'm privileged to speak to them is, your emotions are valid, but we will not leave you sitting on it and accepting it as, this is now my new reality, this is who I am. So if you are struggling with fear, we are not going to leave you to say, oh, now I am scared, I don't know what to do, so I will just stay a fearful person. That's not God's way for us. No. The Bible says God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of what? A sound mind, of boldness. The day I read that Bible verse, it was like, poof. What? In the place of fear, I had two options: soundness of my mind and boldness. My God, that was my liberation, which is what we'll be talking about in our next video on. It's not enough to talk about different things that we would experience when we are walking in fear. It's now, how do I come out from it? How do I demystify this fear factor and start living a bold, healthy, relaxed me again? How do I make decisions and I'm making them, but they are not from the point of fear? Hope you've been blessed by today's video. I would see you in our next video, and I pray that whatever fear that your heart is currently holding on to, that God will begin to help you identify the source of the fear and start the healing process so you can begin to live your wholesome, rich life in Jesus' name. Bye for now. We hope you are blessed by the video you've just watched. Please do well to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your loved ones. And turn on your notification bell so you are alerted when we put up our next video. Bye!